To see for yourselves one of the most amazing events.
When is this great experiment made?
Impervious to heat, impossible to move.
Is it human or inhuman?
Gentlemen, do you realize what we've found?
It's time for the Geeky Brummie podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello and welcome to the Geeky Brummie Show. Full studio. It's been a while since we've all been together. Joining me today, Mr. Leigh Price.
Hello.
Mr. Keith Bloomfield.
Hello.
Mr. Guy Halford.
And your mum.
Mr. Philip Ellis, Esquire.
Hi.
And behind the desk, Mr. Callen Danes.
Right. Callen doesn't deserve to be called Mr. because he hasn't grown up enough to become
Master,
a Mr. Yeah,
Master Callen Danes.
Master Callen Danes.
I prefer Master, actually.
Yeah, you prefer Master something.
It's like you're all just Misters, and then like I am the Master. I'm like better than you.
You're Master of something, and that is it.
I know it's not how it works, but it's how it works in my head.
How are we all this week? Keith, what have you been up to?
Did you pick on him because he had sweets in his mouth?
Yes. This week I've been eating mostly Parma violets. No,
you're a horrible human being.
It's very nice, actually. It reminds me of my childhood in the 1970s.
You should hang on a minute. It was in the 1910s and 1920s.
Whilst
I was waiting for the wibble wobble. When I used to wear shorts.
No, that was one of the things I didn't do when I was a kid. I didn't wear shorts. It's like... It was a fashion no-no for me, really.
I thought you were just like you were implying that you just ran around without anything on.
I'm pretty sure I saw Keith in that Peter Jackson War documentary that was on TV a few weeks ago. Now they colourise. I was like, hang on a minute, I recognise that guy.
Yeah, you're very, very right there. No, I went to. I was looking up for you guys to get me to join you at MCM Comic Con, which was cool. I only went for the one day though. So I didn't get to do 2 days, but that was cool. Jason O'Mara was a cool dude.
Yeah, it was really interesting, good.
Which is good. But I didn't buy anything, which I'm now feeling guilty about. Kind of.
Well, you feel guilty because you didn't.
Well, I would have
spend your
felt
money.
guilty whether I'd have bought something or not. So it seems like it's some kind of strange thing. So
situation.
yeah, so if I'd have bought something, I'd have felt guilty about buying it.
Are you feeling FOMO? Is that what it is? Is it the fear of missing out that you didn't find the purchase that you wanted to take home? Whilst Guy noisily eats sweets at the back of the studio.
I think I get that at every convention. The kind of fact that you haven't seen everything, but somewhere in there, amongst all that stuff, would have been the perfect thing for just the right price. And I've missed out on it. Maybe there was a nice box dinky Space 1999 Eagle that was going for like 20 quid. And that would have been lovely.
We did spy a 6-foot-tall Michael Myers statue on the second day.
That was
for
cool.
£400.
You sure it was a statue, not just somebody standing still?
No, it was actually boxed, like ready for assemble. It was Mike Myers' self-assembly IKEA style kit.
How much?
400.
What a waste of money!
I mean, that would be quite cool just to have that in your corner and then just like keep moving it just to like make guests feel slightly uncomfortable.
Perfect for Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit late, but you know, still perfect for next year.
Surely a pair of overalls and a Mike Myers mask would cost you less than that, and you'd just pay somebody to stand still for a couple of hours.
Yeah, but that's more money. You've got to pay someone.
Callen's overlooking the fact here that guests don't come to his house, so no one wants to go there.
I'm waiting for him to say Mike Myers is he the guy in like Austin Powers?
Oh Christ! We had that this weekend.
Yeah, can you imagine that a 6-foot Austin Powers statue? Who would buy a 6-foot Austin Powers statue unless you are actually Mike Myers?
A sex fiend. I'm sorry, but can we get Michael Myers from Austin Powers to be Mike
It's not
Myers?
called Michael Myers.
Just Mike Myers.
Oh, he is called Mike Myers.
His real name is Mike Myers.
Oh. Can we get Mike Myers to play Mike Myers in an upcoming film?
No, it's Michael Myers in the movies, the Halloween movies.
You knew what I meant, shut up.
You want Mike Myers to play Michael Myers?
Yes, I do.
What they should do is get him to play Michael Myers, but he's still in costume as Austin Powers.
Just with the Mike Myers mascot?
Yes. That'd be brilliant.
Well, he's doing another Austin Powers film, isn't he?
Why?
Fifth or fifth one?
Fourth.
Oh, do you know what? Fair play.
I think he's probably looked at the bank account and said, Shrek residuals are getting a little bit low, guys. Squeeze some more cash out than Austin...
the diminishing creative returns, though. I mean,
Well, his last new franchise was The Guru, so I think...
Oh, the Love Guru. Oh, God.
Yes.
And that was gross, because that was him playing somebody with an Indian accent.
Yes.
So there were, like, a big shock, no sequel there.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh, I mean, I'm just thinking. The last time there was an Austin Powers movie out, it was Goldmember, and that was starring Beyonce, because that's before Beyonce was Beyonce.
Yes.
It was before she was Beyonce Knowles Carter, one of the most powerful people in the universe.
I think we can all agree she peaked at being in Goldmember.
I mean, I have to say, the Work It Out from that soundtrack,
Yeah.
pretty good. When she was leaning into that funk.
We've completely washed over the fact that Callen Danes, the Beyonce Knowles, as you said, one of the most influential artists kicking around today, peaked at Goldmember. What is going on in your mind? Like,
it was a joke. You know
well,
that
I
thing
hope
when
it
someone
was a joke.
chose to be
well,
funny?
Like, do you know what? I want you to apologise to Beyonce for your poor attempt at comedy, because I feel she deserves it.
If you're listening, Beyonce, which we know you are, we're sorry.
Lady B.
I'm not. I don't think she needs me to be sorry. She doesn't need my gratification. She's doing well enough on her own. She doesn't need
plenty of your own gratification.
I'm sure she doesn't feel personally insulted that I made a joke about her peaking in a movie from like 2002.
Anyway, Keith, what else have you been up to this week?
I'm getting slightly cross that now that's what I call 80s. It's transitioned to be now that's what I call Christmas.
Oh my God, have you seen now? It's now 101 now. As I found that so weird.
Yeah.
It's now 101. It's like,
I'm amazed.
What?
Does now 101 belong in room 101?
I don't know what
I thought they were going to stop at 100. I didn't realise they were going to like.
It's a whole thing,
Keep it
now.
going.
I'm sure I may have dreamt it and imagined it, but I'm convinced that there's a section in H&B that's basically now that's what I call music 101. Now that's what I call music for dads. Now that's what I call music for mums.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm glad they just didn't go full like fellow kids and turned it into now lol or something terrible like that.
Give him time.
Wait, what's the Roman numeral for 100? It's X, isn't it?
No, that's 20.
Oh, it's
10,
C.
10, sorry,
10.
10.
C.
Sorry. Been a while.
Now C1, and then just like.
Now C2. Now
Yeah.
C3.
Talking, Callen, you're young and you like modern music. So I was in the car with my girlfriend's sister and my girlfriend yesterday, and a song came on the radio, and it was that typical brand of, you know, Jamaican dancehall, modern pop. They seem to be like, every song needs to sound like it's from Jamaica now.
Yeah. Like
reggae
dancehall,
influence,
like dancehall sort of thing.
Yeah, like that sort of stuff. However, they took a sample of "Time to Say Goodbye" in it, so you know the famous opera, "Time to Say Goodbye," and it's been sampled in a pop song. It's like what?
That's kind of like a funeral song.
This is where I
Quite
point
a lot
out
of
I
people.
don't know what Time to Say Goodbye is.
It's from Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Andrea Bocelli covered it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I love Andrea Bocelli. He's awesome. What? He makes good music.
Is that because
Slip
you've
into
heard of that song, and that's why you think that?
Slipping some Andrea Bocelli on, guys.
But I can't like process in my head why somebody, when they were making this song, like, do you know what would be a really good sample? If you heard this fresh beat, and then drop that and be like, yeah, that would be good.
Was
that
it
would
the
be
violin bit?
Really good. No, it's the bit where it all builds up, you know, and you got the.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Were you gonna perform for us?
Yeah, but no, I think no.
It was the bit where na 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 na.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was right. Yeah.
I want to know more about Callen's upbringing now, because we're talking about a man here who didn't know David Bowie and Ziggy Stardust were two different people, didn't know much about the history of Freddie Mercury, yet has gone, Andrew Bocelli, he makes some cracking...
Andrew Bocelli. All right, lads, it's me, Andrew Bocelli.
Andy Bocelli.
Good old, as we know him.
He works down Bingo, Andy Bocelli. Great call.
Andy Botch.
Does 2 nights a week at local working club.
Right, you're going to be very impressed with me. I found the song you're on about just from the sample.
What? Time to Say Goodbye? Yeah, because it's pretty famous, Callen, to be honest
the
with
song
you.
that samples it. That's the song that samples it. Jason Derulo.
Could you
Jason
play a
Derulo.
clip?
Of course it's
Can we play a
Derulo.
clip of this? Are we allowed to play a clip of
We're
this?
not, I'm afraid.
If we comment on it very quickly,
Okay, yeah,
we should
if
be
we-
alright.
Okay, well, I will play some
Shall we
30
review
second
this song?
music.
Yes, we will
Okay.
review this for the next 30 seconds.
Well, I've got to load it up first. Give me a second.
Are we going to have a terrible Spotify advert before it?
No, because I don't have Spotify on this computer.
Well, why aren't you only provided Spotify on a computer?
Well, we're having some website owned by Google.
Because they have Tidal.
Please don't tell me this is an ad. Come on. It's YouTube Music.
A new streaming
Which is being advertised everywhere. I'm sorry, but who
I
actually
can
wants
hear this
YouTube
through the
Music?
headphones.
Hold on, let me jump ahead. I don't know the. This is the song. So this is Goodbye by Jason Derulo, David Guetta, Nicki Minaj, and someone who I've never heard of.
That's another thing with modern music. Why does it need 6 people to do one
Because
song nowadays?
it's just fun.
Why has everything got to be featuring like Nicki Minaj or some random person or like?
I feel like Nicki Minaj is just on
Bieber.
everything.
David Guetta's not the dead one, is it?
No, he's not.
That
That's
was
Avicii. I mean, but David Guetta's career is basically dead. Like, we know that, so...
I think when you've got a career to the same extent as David Guetta, that's when you're allowed to call it dead.
So is David Guetta like Fatboy Slim?
What do you mean David Guetta like Fatboy Slim?
Are they like just these like celebrity DJs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Phil is reviewing carefully.
This is like... This low-key slaps.
Yeah.
This is not as bad as I thought it would be.
If it didn't have Nicki Minaj singing, it would actually be an alright song.
I
like the amount of
feel
auto-tune
like
on her voice.
If I'd had a couple of Jaeger bombs, I'd be bopping to this.
Yeah. This would be fun after a few drinks.
I could imagine this is a Sunday 2 a.m. kind of.
Do you guys in the corner want to listen to
late night
this?
drinks kind of song?
I'm quite happy to.
Okay, you're happy to not know this.
I'm still.
Yes,
Shall we move on?
I think that is enough.
I mean, it's just what is going on with the world.
We illustrated the point, and the audience can hear the sample.
I heard the name Jason Derulo. I knew enough at that point.
Does he say his name at the start of the song?
No, he doesn't. He hasn't done that in years.
Presumably, yes, Ryan.
He has to say his name at the start of the song so people remember who he is.
Can we have no hateration on Jason Derulo, please?
Jason Derulo! Moving swiftly on from Keith's week with Jason Derulo. Leigh, what else have you been up to this week?
Well, just like Keith, I've been at MCM with you guys. And had a pretty great time. I did.
Your first press pass experience?
Yes, it was. And also, I did buy something, unlike Keith.
What did you buy? You haven't purchased anything when we left you.
No, a few times when we went around, I saw these figures called Nendoroids, and it's basically like a Japanese figure, and you can sort of change the faces, and they're based on various different characters and stuff. And there was a character from Persona, and I saw it a couple of times there.
Persona 1, 2, 3, or 5.
I played Persona 5 for 50 minutes and then got bored.
And I'm not surprised with your attention span.
I saw you needed to put like 8 hours of time into it and get anywhere. I was like, no.
Yeah. But yeah, I kept seeing it a few times when we were wandering around, and then on the Sunday afternoon, I was like, saw it again. I'll do it. I'll get it. Screw it.
Yeah. How much shrapnel did you unleash on the product?
It was £60. They are quality figures, though. They are quality figures.
That's not.
Mum and Dad are getting a cheap Christmas present this year.
That is the one problem with going to any kind of Comic-Con with traders. You look at stuff and you go, I'm not going to see it again for a long while. It is ridiculously expensive, but can I justify this purchase to myself enough to drop that amount of dollar?
I justified it because I was just like, I'm going to buy one thing, nothing else.
You justified it because you were like, I want it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first thing, but then I was like, nothing else at all.
I wish now I'd snapped up that set of Super Star Wars games off that one, because that would have still come to under £60 for those. So I should have got it. But maybe next time.
I think you should have bought that copy of Skies of Arcadia, which I actually found out on the second time round was £250.
Jesus.
Did you see any sex pillows?
There were quite a few.
Body pillows, yeah.
Did Keith spend ages staring at them like last time?
No.
What
he was staring at guns, quite worryingly.
Oh, was he?
They had some
Hang
nice
on, like
ones.
gun shows or guns?
Guns.
Right.
Yeah, but we did almost buy you something, Guy. We did have a look at that Geeky boutique.
Yeah.
They had some great things, which would have gone with his
absolutely
shirt.
would, yes.
They had lovely patterned Geek shirts and skirts.
I would have worn a skirt, why not?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were going to get.
Yeah.
I'd go for that.
And there was really cute little Pokeball terrariums, which were again a little bit
They're amazing. Like the amount of like detail and artwork on those is just.
It was basically like a Pokeball where the top half was clear, and you had like a little view into the Pokeball universe. So
Pokeball takes a new meaning when Kallen says it. To be honest with you,
That's great.
But yeah, it's good fun.
Cease to amaze me, Guy.
How was it when you brought it home? Did it go into the shelf of interesting items?
Yeah, it went into the cabinet of interesting items.
Yeah, the cabinet. It was posh.
Do you keep like looking at it like, yeah, I bought that?
Yes, I do. Very important.
I just need to point out Keith keeps secretly eating a picnic bar in the corner of the studio. Like, he keeps crouching down on the floor to eat a picnic bar.
It's because he was eating it last week and it was a massive edit job. Because all I heard was Keith.
That sounds like another famous radio show to me. He's like a little squirrel in the corner.
It's the picnic
Sorry, I
bar.
said famous radio show. That felt like it was a bit too bit too much of a compliment. So
the thing with the picnic bar is it's caramel, it's wafer, it's nuts. It's going to be noisy.
It's all the crunch, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry.
It's not as bad as your Mr. Tom's bars.
I can't even find Mr. Tom's bars. I'm sure that you've gone round all the local newsagents and told them not to stock it.
A picnic is way up there in the pantheon of chocolate bars.
Can I ask what a Tom bar is? Because I know a picnic bar, but what's a
Mr.
Tom bar?
Tom.
no one knows apart from the man who was came here in a time machine today.
He was the only person that bought them.
And Mr. Tom is basically peanuts wedged into a oblong shape and covered in caramel.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
They are. It's lovely.
He said that all like bloody
Lovely.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know, Star Bar still think is the peak of chocolate.
Best chocolate bar, Lion Bar.
White chocolate lime bar.
Nope, Lion Bar. Classic. No peanuts, no white chocolate, just Lion Bar. Lion Bar.
Bueno.
Get out.
child.
Oh my God.
There's always mum let him have, or you can have one of these
It's
Kinder
'cause he-
Bueno
No,
hippos.
it's because he wasn't allowed the eggs because he'd choke himself to death in the toy. Anyway, Guy, what have you been up to this week?
Right, what have I been doing? I got a bit of nostalgia going on, so I've been watching The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Oh my God.
Someone knows what it is!
From Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Oh God, what a good show that
Right,
was.
this is where I'm going to retire and let you three reminisce together.
Like,
I barely watched it, I just remember it
Yeah.
existing.
I don't really remember much about it, so can you give us a synopsis on the show and why it was so great?
I just, it's like the kids show for 90s grunge era MTV, but it was on Nickelodeon because it was like full of like stars like Michael Stipe, Iggy Pop, Kate Pearson from the B-52s, but it was also like independent art house cinema from the 90s.
It was weird. I remember it. I have similar memories to that as I do of Daria, where watching it as a kid, I was like, I'm only getting half of these jokes.
Yeah, it's for us. It's not, and it's about two brothers called Pete and Pete, who for no one ever questions why they've got the same name or why the youngest son has a tattoo on his arm, which is
And
really
the
bizarre.
mum has a metal plate in her head.
And there's a superhero called Artie kicking around.
I think was it the strongest man in the world,
Yeah.
but he was like this really skinny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this
I remember him,
live
yeah.
action or was it like an animation?
It was live action. But it's like a real beautiful series, and like even now watching it as an adult, I still appreciate it because it's like it's really quirky, but it's just really nice, and it's like it's warming. That's what I like watching. I feel nostalgic, but I'm also really enjoying it. Again, like as an adult, I don't think this is really childish because I'm taking more away from it than I did as a kid. I think. Yeah, it's worth a watch if you can find it on YouTube. So I've been getting nostalgic about the Adventures of Pete and Pete. It's,
All right.
I'm glad.
That just sounds like two blokes down the pub doing The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
I am glad. I am glad that people in this room know what it is, though. Because honestly, like I was thinking, like no one knows what this is. And I'm, like,
What have Pete and Pete been up to this week? They played darts.
But I've also been getting miffed. So I've seen a lot
There's
of
a
films.
first.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of films this week. So The Grinch, it's average.
Was it as good as the Jim Carrey version, or even the original animated version?
It's no. I saw Assassination Nation. I really enjoyed that. I saw Suspiria. It's finally sticking with me that I enjoyed it. It's gross. But I saw Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Fantastic
Issue
Beasts,
2.
The Crimes of Johnny Depp.
Why did you go and watch that film?
Because sometimes when you're in a relationship, you have to do what your partner wants to do. Like Laura went to see Assassination Nation with me, and you know you got
reciprocal agreement.
Yeah, you have to do what your partner wants to do. Sometimes.
That's why I'm single.
I mean, we're gonna do our review of the year, and I'm sure it's gonna come again. But like, I thought Deadpool 2 sucked. And like, that's controversial, but I was so happy to be like at the end of the year, and I review shot Deadpool 2, what a crap film. Oh my god, this takes the cherry. This is 2.5 hours of the worst time I've ever spent in the cinema. It is honestly.
Was Ezra Miller worse than he was in the first one?
I don't care. I don't give a damn about him unless he's shooting arrows at kids in a high school. I don't want to see him on screen.
Wait, what film was that?
We need to talk about Kevin. It was his first big movie.
Oh. I don't care if I'm going to spoil this for anybody who hasn't seen it, because you're just wasting your time. I don't need to sit there for 2.5 hours to watch characters faff around to end up in a room where Johnny Depp gives a speech about some plan that he's got that doesn't make any sense, for at the end to be like, oh, by the way, that's Dumbledore's son. Who cares? Who cares?
Spoilers, by the way.
What? I don't care. I'm going to spoil it.
It's a bit of a spoiler, considering it's completely different to what actually happens.
No, it's not. They spend 2 hours to go to a room to listen to a speech. That is the film, Keith.
There's a little bit of a discrepancy in between. Dumbledore was only supposed to be about mid to early 30s.
Oh no, hang on, no, it's not his son, it's his brother, that's it. Do you know what, that's how much attention I paid. It's honestly...
A Dumbledore relative was the key plot.
Whatever.
It suffers terribly from being the second film in a 5-part series.
Which shouldn't be
an unnecessary 5-part series at that.
The shame here is on J.K. Rowling. Like, go and do something else, go and try and be creative and write other stories, because this is just... It's a cash cow. It's a stupid cash cow.
To me, if I was J.K. Rowling and said, how about for this much money, and then they just wheeled up a wheelbarrow full of cash and said, just write some crap, I'd be like, yeah, fine.
But it is literally crap. It is utter nonsense. It's faff.
I just wish they'd make an actual movie based on the original Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book.
But they did, and it was rubbish.
No. They didn't. Because it didn't stick to the book. Because the book is just a guide to mythical creatures. And that would make a way more interesting story than a 5-part franchise.
I agree, Callen. It was a 90-minute film idea that has been milked so far. I don't see where this story's going.
I can't wait for 2023 and the Adventures of Beedle the Bard. So I assume that'll be coming out.
It's and also, I know you're pretty outspoken about this, but Johnny Depp being in it cheapens it, because I know he's committed crimes himself, but the fact that Johnny Depp is in it really cheapens it as a film, because you look at it with this kind of that's so dated, having Johnny Depp as the main bad guy or the main person in the film, kind of it's you just get all these images of Captain Jack and all these stupid roles he's played. It just cheapens the film.
And it was kind of embarrassing when he was doing Captain Jack and being the Mad Hatter, because it's basically he's been the Tim Burton sort of poster boy for so long, but now it's oh my god, he's still doing it. No one's told him to stop.
Yeah,
and it's
that's what it felt like.
So it's even if he weren't a gross man in other ways, it's just kind of you feel a bit sad to look at him.
I think he's a bit too old for the kind of roles that he's trying to do. The Mad Hatter's definitely too old to do it.
Yeah.
Because when he was doing the Tim Burton stuff and he was doing Edward Scissorhands, it fitted quite well with that kind of Winona Ryder thing. But
he's turned into a Z-list parody of himself and Keanu Reeves. It's we've asked Keanu's not available. Johnny?
And Keanu, meanwhile, is thriving.
He's
playing appropriate roles.
He's having the second Renaissance. We had the first Renaissance for the Matrix.
The Reeves Renaissance.
What?
Yes.
That man's not had a Renaissance. He's been consistently awesome for his entire life. There's never been a fallow period for Mr. Reeves.
We've started something now.
I think we can find a few films in his fallow period, Keith.
His British accent.
Hey, Carfax Abbey is one of the greatest films.
Which is why I was surprised.
Do not come for Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Which is why I was surprised
by the accent.
I'm surprised they didn't hit him up for Mary Poppins Returns. Perfect casting.
I'd watch that.
God blimey, Governor. It's me, Dick Van Dyke Jr.
So basically, it is genuinely the worst film I've seen this year. What a load of trash. Up yours, J.K. Rowling, and up yours the man who directed, and up yours everybody in it. And also, Eddie Redmayne, I'm sorry, you little bumbling actor, I'm a little bit goofy. No, you're just copying Matt Smith as Doctor Who. Get stuffed, everybody that was in that film. I hate you all.
Phil, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks since we last saw you?
Let me gather my thoughts after that. I've been away.
On holiday?
Yes.
Again.
Surprising.
I went to Lanzarote with 8 friends. We hired a villa. And
didn't hire any clothes though, did you?
I was wondering when someone was going to make a reference to that.
There may be a post or two on my Instagram in which I am wearing little else but a Andrew Christian Speedo and a kimono.
Is that your new Twitter profile picture as well?
Yeah.
You discarded the lovely picture from Nate's wedding.
Yeah, because I was like, oh no, this is my I'm a thought leader now, so
This is the Ellis Renaissance.
This is your brand.
This is I'm expanding my brand parameters to involve thirst traps.
I think those drugs are expanding.
I mean, all I can say is the results have been incredible.
Anything else you want to tell us about? Did you see any of the sights of Lanzarote?
Yeah, we went into a cave, saw some volcanoes.
You're not really selling that at the minute. We went into a cave.
Ultimately, it was 5 days of just like lounging around this beautiful villa on the hillside, drinking wine, and sort of lounging around in various inflatables. Yeah, so that was that. And then since I've been back, I've just been busy working. Got some opinions published in the Independent. Mm-hmm. Got trolled again for that.
This is becoming a thing now.
So every time I put my it's because like I'm getting.
I'm waiting for Phil Ellis to release all these articles into a book called Poke the Gammon or something like that.
And the picture on the front is just like a piece of like horrible like cold ham with like a spiky meat thermometer like sticking out of it.
Yeah, no, just a finger prodding the gammon gently.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just I'm elevating up a little bit more in my career. I'm getting opinions published in bigger places, and this is what happens: you put your head above the parapet, and then people with literally nothing better to do decide to slide into your DMs and send you like 5 paragraphs about what you've done that's wrong, and it's like, yeah.
I do want Phil's star to rise to the point that he gets invited on as a guest to Good Morning Britain.
No, I think
just to have a go at Piers Morgan.
No, I would decline, because his whole thing is he wants you to come on and quote unquote debate, but what he really wants to do is just shout people down and really ridicule them and belittle them. And so I wouldn't give him the satisfaction of going on, because he's a bad faith actor. He has no intention of actually having a conversation, and I don't intend to go in and enable that.
I feel like you could shout him down though, and it would be the best television of the year. Just you and Piers Morgan in a shouting match.
Oh, but having to breathe the same air as him, I don't know how Susanna Reid does it.
But think about your Twitter followers. You would gain so many followers for that.
Yeah, but I'd also probably get doxxed.
I prefer for you to be on Question Time with Jacob Rees-Mogg, Nigel Farage.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Nigel Farage and somebody really nice. Mel and Sue. There we go.
Oh, what a powerful coven that would be.
Mel and Sue on Question Time.
I could see Mel and Sue on Question Time.
Oh, I'd go down to the pub with them though.
Yeah. I reckon they are horrible behind the scenes.
Mel and is it Mel or Sue? Which one of them is with Anna Richardson?
Mel.
Sue.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sue.
It's Sue.
It's definitely Sue.
Actually, I'd love Phil on Question Time with like that. What's his name? Toby Robinson. That guy.
Tony Robinson.
Toby Robinson.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Tony or Toby. You know the guy I want about.
Do you mean Stephen Laxley Lennon? Because that's his real name.
Is that his real name?
That is his real name. Yeah.
Do you mean Tommy Robinson?
Yes, probably.
Oh my! Why are you just like? Why are you Tinder matching me with all these horrible people?
I like he's now the UKIP representative against something odd.
Oh, he's the UKIP advisor for grooming.
Yes,
because basically he went on a rant about grooming gangs in Bradford, which basically just means he's just like has it out for brown people.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's my week. I went on holiday. I flashed a lot of my body
and angered some
gammon. And I angered some gammons. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You need to come out with a book just like of all
I'm
your
working
controversies,
on it,
but just of all your controversies and like the highlights.
The thing is, like, my controversies aren't actually controversies. I don't say anything super controversial. It's just these people have nothing better to do, and they're the snowflakes. That's the thing. They get outraged by so little.
I think you need to like lean into it and bait them a bit more. Like call them snowflakes for attacking you, just to sort of like poke them a bit more. Just build up this troll brand.
I dealt with it exactly the same as last time. I tweeted the link, I got all the ridiculous comments, and then I just sort of signed out of Twitter for the afternoon, because I refused to give them the attention that me replying to them would do, because then other people would see it and it would just prolong the whole thing. And it's like, I already drink enough wine. I don't need to like I just would not. No, I'm not doing that.
Ryan Parrish, what did you do this week?
My washing machine broke. That's pretty much been my highlight. I can't really talking about MCM because everybody else has already covered it off. It was really good. Press room was really nice. Saw some great guests. Bought some stuff. Wandered around. Played Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Who was your favourite guest?
I would actually say Jason O'Mara was...
Tony Robinson. Was it Tony Tom?
I was actually...
Tiny Tim Robinson. Tom.
When guys finally shut up. Jason O'Mara was actually a really lovely chap.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed his
Solid
conversation.
guy.
Yeah, really nice chap.
Who dat?
He's been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He plays the Patriot. He is the new voice of Batman. And he's also in The Man in the High Castle.
Did you interview a man called Julian Glover?
No.
Can I ask, is that the man who let out the Tommy Squeaker?
Yes, it was the man who let out the Tommy Squeaker.
Brilliant.
He was present, but we didn't interview him.
Did anybody ask him about the Tommy Squeaker?
He wasn't doing press that weekend.
Oh, that's because everybody asked him about the Tommy Squeaker.
Stop saying Tommy Squeaker.
I'm wondering now whether there's
He's also a UKIP representative.
A gap in the market at MCMs for geek-themed white goods. Because you can't be the only person who had a dodgy washing machine this week. So should we just kind of decorate washing machines with like Totoros and like Batman and Superman things and then sell them on?
This Funko Pop stand is sponsored by Appliances Direct.
Imagine a Funko Pop with a washing machine in its chest.
I'm surprised they haven't already made that, actually.
That's the next franchise. They could have like popular makers of white goods. So they could have like the Dyson fella, the bloke who invented the Hoover. They could have a whole range of like Funko Pops.
White goods now sounds like it should be an anime about people who are like actually washing machines but peddling cocaine.
That was not where I thought that was going.
Yeah, same. Especially because as soon as you say anime and it involves white goods, I'm just like, oh god.
White goods just sounds like something like UKIP-y that would be like trolling Philip Ellis on Twitter.
Is that because it's got the words white and good?
Yeah,
there.
Does anybody think Keith might have lost his mind during that suggestion? He was so excited about that.
I like Keith's idea. I think it's a good idea.
That sounds like the kind of business idea you would come up with while you've been on the white goods.
I will not confirm or deny that allegation.
So
anyway, we've missed the child out. So the child, what?
Well, no, we need. I want to know more. I don't care about him. I want to know more about your washing machine. What make and washing machine was it?
Have you got a new one now?
It was an Electrolux.
What's the new one?
Biko.
Biko. I've heard of Biko.
Yeah, it was really nicely energy efficient and cheap. So.
Did you say you'd give them a shout out if they knocked down the price, like proper haggle?
No.
How much clothing can you fit
I don't think our Twitter following really is their core target marketing for some SponCon there.
Everybody needs white goods. We've established this.
Everybody has clothes.
Need to wash your superhero outfit? Buy this washing machine.
How much
has a spandex setting?
Guaranteed not to shrink your cape.
What's the kilos worth of clothes you can fit into the bowl? Wow.
9.
How much is 9 kilos roughly in terms
of 9 kilos? Who really pays attention to that when they fill their washing machine? Because I'm assuming most of you are like me. You just put as many clothes in as you can get in, and then just enough room to stuff the ball full of washing powder.
I do about my lovely wife Vivian. Does that?
I'm not your wife.
Got it right this time, did you?
Have you got married since last time? Congratulations.
I half fill the washing machine like a normal person to allow us tumbling space.
3 quarter full. Get the optimum amount.
Looking at your jeans today, you obviously don't wash, so...
Anyway, child, what have you been up to this week?
Do you know what?
Did you go to MCM Comic Con?
How did you know? How did you know that? I went to MCM Comic Con both days.
So, Callen, whilst we were at MCM Comic Con, having a lovely time, being a group, enjoying the Geeky Brummie family, you jumped onto somebody else's event, didn't you? You ligged onto somebody else whilst we were in the press room.
I didn't jump onto somebody else's event.
You ligged onto it.
No.
What does lig mean?
Ligger. So, a ligger is somebody who goes and experiences stuff for free.
It's me.
So Adam from I Am Birmingham, shout out to him. Nice guy. He basically had a spare press ticket to go to Free Radio Hits Live and needed someone to come along and do some presenting work for them. So I said, yeah, why not? I'm free this evening.
Who were the fantastic guests available at this Free Radio Live event?
Hang on a minute. I need more answers about how he got the ticket. Why him?
It's because Adam was like, I'm going to this event, I don't know half the band list, and then Callen was like, I know them.
Basically,
them.
I knew almost everybody on the band list.
Who
He
were
knew
the
nobody.
bands?
So I can't remember all of them.
Wow.
But you had Paloma Faith, Ollie Murs, Years and Years,
Clean Bandit.
Rudimental.
I thought you were going to start saying something really obscure then.
Not just Glyn.
How can anyone not know who those people are?
Because he clearly doesn't pay attention to modern music, and so that's why he doesn't know who they are.
Maybe he's the one that shouldn't have been invited.
I mean, he is like in his 30s, so I can't blame him.
He is a lovely, lovely chap.
No, he is a lovely guy.
I'm going
He's a lovely
to flip
guy.
this goddamn table.
Aww.
Keith, do you know who those bands are?
I know quite a few of them, yeah.
Oh, would you be able to do an interview with them? Would you know enough to be able to say, like, oh, hey guys,
hi guys,
I would just wing it with just generic.
I assume you've been in the
questions about
charts
the music industry
in the last 5 years.
You released an album, described the songs on it. Who would you most like to collaborate with in the future?
I would have welcomed the opportunity to ask Paloma Faith why she doesn't sound like she sing. Why does she doesn't sing like she sounds? So what happens when she starts singing? It's like, where does your accent go, Paloma?
She sounds like an infant from Kent.
Oh, Paloma Faith.
What we go to today is play a piano.
It's like, what?
I'm going to play a lovely song.
Poor Paloma, she's lovely.
Did you meet Paloma Faith?
I didn't, but I've heard that she's
Who did you
lovely.
meet?
Well, I got a hug from Ollie Murs, which is the second time in my life that's happened now. So
Hang on a minute, was that Ollie Murs? Was Ollie Murs not just picking you up and pushing you aside?
No, he like proper went in for a hug, and it was nice.
He went in for a hug and then you go, don't touch me.
Did you not know who I am?
Wait, did we just hashtag me too, Ollie Murs?
No, it was consensual. It's consensual.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it for Ollie Murs?
I mean, we're only hearing one side of the story here.
Met James Arthur as well. He was a really cool guy. Hung out with him for a bit.
That sounds like someone who wasn't quite convinced by the person they met, and he's like just trying to save face. Oh, he was a really cool guy.
No, he's just sort of really cool and chill, and like he went over and
was he Netflix and chill?
No.
I have to be honest, I thought he was dead.
Wow. Just bad mapping all these nice people.
Do you think it's time we move on to weird news? Because we were like.
No, I want to know who else he met.
Okay, I'll rack it through them. Anne Marie.
Who's that? Who that?
I've heard of her, and I'm in my 30s.
Basically, on every she's the go-to female singer. So if you're a DJ and you want to hit,
Madonna, not. So it wouldn't be Beyonce because she's past her peak.
It's like you can't afford Zara Larsson anymore, so you go for
No. Zara Larson's below Anne Marie, I'd say. I don't think Zara Larson's like pushing it.
Now who doesn't know his stuff?
Anyway,
don't challenge a gay man on his opinions on pop music.
Just because you two listen to the Discover Weekly list on Spotify doesn't mean that you have strong opinions.
And the last year's X Factor winners, Raksu, or Raxul.
What is
I'm still not quite sure how to pronounce their name.
Bless you.
So there wasn't any appearances from I don't know, Jimmy Nail, Chakademus and Pliers, Lisa Stansfield,
Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff,
Dave of Chaz and Dave,
Yazoo.
It's just and Dave now, guy.
Anita Dobson.
Anita Dobson. That's a deep cut.
But Dave can't use the name Dave, can he? Because there's already another Dave.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
there is a Dave.
He has to be and Dave. That's what he's rebranding to.
Do you know what? I really want Dave to feature with and Dave.
So Dave and Dave.
That'd be great.
See, if it was me, I'd just go not Chaz.
Alright, lads, it's hurting a bit now. It's not hurt a bit. It still hurts.
Time to move along, I feel.
You are listening to the Geeky Brummie podcast.
Weird news is made for clicks. Who am I to disagree? The random words that they type into keyboards. Everybody's desperate for clickbait.
Thank you, Keith.
Wow.
Sorry
Still
to Annie Lennox there.
Still no Omnicord. How many months have we been waiting for this wonderful instrument?
It's big, and I can't put it in my rucksack when I've got to work during the day.
That's right.
Right.
And it'll keep going off.
My head is spinning.
Right.
If I lean on it wrong, it'll go off.
Usual 3 stories. Start from BBC News. Police apology over man's genitalia description in appeal.
Well, I'm sold.
Just those words together, I'm
I'm guessing it wasn't very complimentary.
From the Vancouver Sun, Chinatown koi evacuation begins as Otter rampage claims 10th fatality.
Oh, I know this story.
And our third story, also from BBC News, Italian town catches 58,000 speeding cars in 2 weeks.
I want to know about the Italian.
Skip the cars.
No,
We're all about the otters.
Italians all drive like crazy people. That's not news.
That's very true.
Shall we start with the otters?
I mean, it's quite clear which one I want.
Yes.
I know about the otters a little bit because very little otter news passes me by.
So this is from Stephanie IP. I'm assuming it's not intellectual property. That would be a weird surname.
Is that what that means for that film, Ip Man? Is it?
No.
Worst superhero ever.
He lives in Hollywood, Keith.
He just goes around like issuing cease and desists.
Yeah, he's the guy who does that for Disney, who just threatens everyone on behalf of Disney. That's
Stop.
a superpower.
It's intellectual property, man. Right.
I feel as silly as Callen.
From thevancouversun.com. Chinatown koi evacuation begins as Otter rampage claims 10th fatality. A total of 10 koi have now been killed and eaten by the otter as of Sunday morning. This was last updated on November the 25th.
So these aren't human fatalities. I'm sorry, I heard 10
I no longer now feel as stupid as Callen. I'm back.
How
I'm
many
back in the room.
people do you know killed by otters?
No, I heard fatalities in the title and I
Koi.
thought it was like humans.
It said koi.
The whole headline is koi evacuation following. It's
I feel like in Callen's head that was Ryan being shot by them. Like koi, like.
So they were just sneaking out like under blankets. Oh, don't look at us! We're just escaping the otters.
I have this image now, like of an otter, like out of a kaiju movie, rampaging through Vancouver, just like destroying buildings.
That's the most adorable kaiju movie ever, and I want to see it.
I didn't know what koi meant, and so I just assumed it was a place.
What is koi? What is koi?
A fish?
Yes, congratulations. A koi is a type of carp.
What's a carp?
I thought you said a koi is a type of carp. I was like, no, it's not. Is butter a carp?
Garden officials have ordered an evacuation of Chinatown koi after a hungry river otter claimed its 10th victim over the weekend. A total of 10 expensive koi fish have now been killed and eaten by the otter as of Sunday morning. Right, this is the 4th paragraph, and we've already been told 4 times 10 koi have died. I think they can't get over the shock of this.
Isn't this just like the circle of life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, there were previously 14 adult koi living in the ponds at Dr. Sun Yat-sen Park in Chinatown. As a result, staff at the Chinatown Park have been evacuating koi from the park's ponds. So there's 4 left. What's an evacuation of 4 people?
I think one thing that's missing from that story, I heard that they'd actually set traps to try and get rid of the otters, but they were just taking the food from the traps and not getting trapped in them at all.
Scammer life.
Yeah.
So far, only 1 fish has been moved to Vancouver Aquarium for safekeeping. Koi are also difficult to capture, so it remains unclear how long the evacuation will take, though crews are working to relocate the remaining 3 fish. The one relocated koi took several hours to capture on Saturday due to poor visibility in the water.
Where would they be hiding? Oh, this one's hiding on the roof. This was a game of hide and seek.
Why don't they just watch the otter? Because he's got 10 of them already, so, you know.
It's like Pokemon Go, but with fish in a park. They're like chucking Pokeballs into the water, not getting anything.
I'm just imagining some kind of poor animal control guy staring at this like big whiteboard with like all the like a map and like red lines, and he's just like, God damn it, he's out there, he's mocking us!
Sector C2 is clear. Where is this man?
I mean, if you've only got 3 left, just sack the whole thing off, do you know what I mean?
It's been a difficult mission trying to rescue our koi.
Mission?
Says Debbie Chung, spokeswoman with the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Park. Chung says it remains unknown whether Madonna, a 50-plus-year-old koi, has been at the park for the last 20 years, is among the remaining survivors.
I mean, what's that saying about Madonna, really?
Did they name it Madonna before? Because Mad's isn't that much older than 50.
She's only 60.
Yeah. I don't know. The evacuation comes after an expert trapper was brought in last week in an attempt to relocate the otter. Officials had hoped to avoid relocating the koi, as draining the pond and moving the fish can cause stress and possible damage. But after the otter was available to evade a set trap, stealing the bait and prancing off unscathed...
I'm just imagining it just like that.
Just the smuggest look of like doing the L'Oreal advert with the fish in its mouth.
I'm sorry, but this would be the best kaiju movie of the giant otter just prancing around. Like,
to a soundtrack of Madonna songs. I made it through the wilderness.
It remains unclear exactly when and where the Otter moved into the park earlier this month, though its den has been located in the east end of the park. The park remains closed to the public until the Otter can be relocated to Fraser Valley, where it will be able to feast on salmon.
Oh my god, he's just a hungry bear, leave him alone.
Chung also said there's plans to announce a fundraiser this coming week to help with the cost of replacing the devoured koi. The colourful carp can be cost anywhere between $10 for a small young koi to $1,000 for a show-grade senior koi.
Just drop some goldfish in the pond and be like, yeah, the gold ones.
Earlier
Gold
this
koi.
year, a koi carp was sold at auction in Japan by breeder Kentaro Sakai for 203 million yen, or 2.4 million Canadian dollars, setting a record.
Blimey.
Something fishy going on there, if you ask me.
What was the reporter's name again?
She was Stephanie Ip.
Do you think she just released the otter into the local area in the hope that she could write it up? And like, this is going to make a great story. There's 5,000 words in this.
It's about I wonder how tasty that fish would be for like.
I thought you were going to say the otter
million.
then.
No, the fish. Like
maybe it's Callen in costume.
They said it pranced.
Yeah.
Can we hear about the pecker?
Do you want to talk about the genitalia description?
Yes, please.
So this is from North Yorkshire local news.
Brilliant.
No byline for this article, but it is on the BBC website. Keith, does that mean with your approval?
Well, you just keep reading.
Who wrote it?
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. That's what it says. There's no byline.
Oh, I thought that was like a
That's what byline means. It's where you put the name.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. God, I'm on Callen porn today.
Police have apologised for providing too much detail in a description of a man who has performed a sexual act in front of a woman in York. The North Yorkshire Force said it was looking for a fat, naked man as described his sexual organs explicitly after the incident on Sunday afternoon. He said the appeal had caused upset to a number of people. The details...
Oh, so they weren't apologising to the man?
No. They're just apologising for the description of the man.
I thought he was being like an overly sensitive sex offender.
It's like, look, you've caught me fair and square, but please.
But must you call me dingy?
Did they describe his junk?
The details on its website are now being replaced with a more appropriately worded version. The revised wording, also posted onto their Facebook page, removed the detailed descriptions of the man's small penis and his testicles that hung noticeably low. Been quite a few Disney classic movies remade into live action versions recently.
Oliver and Company.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the new Lion King trailer that dropped recently, which is being described by Disney as a live action movie. Firstly, it is not a live action movie, it is a 3D animated movie.
But it's got real life backgrounds.
And?
Does it not have real life lions?
No.
That was a great feature. Thanks for listening to
It's
Geeky
not
Brummie.
even Andy Serkis in a mocap suit, which is the usual traditional thing.
Yeah, I bet he's really, really pissed off. Like he owns this corner of the market.
I was expecting him to be Rafiki at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doing like an offensive African accent. Yeah.
He has got his version of the Jungle Book story.
Yes.
It's kind of been bumped to
Straight to
Netflix in
Yes.
this country, unfortunately.
Is that after Jon Favreau's Disney movie?
Yeah, another live action remake.
Which didn't. At least that had a live action Mowgli in it.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, everyone's paying dust to the live action Jungle Book remake that came out in the 90s with Sam Neill.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, where Mowgli was like grown up and hot.
So I remember the terrible Greystoke movie. Was that Christopher Lambert playing?
That was Christopher Lambert, yeah.
Yeah, getting a Frenchman to play an English aristocrat who's been lost in the jungle.
With Andy McDowell as well.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing.
But anyway, so live action movies replacing animated movies. I don't mind Mary Poppins Returns. That makes sense.
Is that you don't mind Emily Blunt or you don't mind Mary Poppins Returns?
Mary Poppins Returns, it's a linear progression of the
But
food.
also they're honouring the animation style of the original. So
Yes.
it's a continuation, it's not a carbon copy.
Yeah.
Whereas like what I've been seeing on social media this week is they've lined up the new Lion King trailer with the original Lion King trailer, and they're like, "Look, it's like it's shot for shot. They've emulated." It's like, so what was the point if you've been watching the same exact movie but with just like more texture on the screen? What is the point in them spending millions of dollars?
Isn't the
It looks beautiful.
Isn't the whole point of this though that like children now probably wouldn't
Like
go
you.
and see the animated one, but you can take them to see this, and then that's a way into
I
it of the classic Disney
completely
movies.
disagree with that. I completely disagree. The original Lion King movie is a beautiful film.
Yeah.
And it has a beautiful soundtrack.
So here's why I won't be going to see it personally. If you want to go and spend your hard-earned cash on it and take your kids, I'm sure that you will have a great time. But see that cute little rendered little Simba?
Yeah.
What, they're going to expect me to sit there and watch that cute little cub ask Mufasa to get up?
Oh, that's going to be harsh, isn't it?
As if the original sequence with the stampede was not traumatic enough. No, thank you. I'm not going to pay £10 for you to do me like that. No.
I mean, that's gonna be hard. Like, I watched this trailer with Laura, my girlfriend, and like about maybe 30 seconds in, the tears started flooding, and it was like, oh god.
Was it when the buffalo appeared? It was like, oh god, it's going to come again.
But that's what Disney are so good at doing now. They are just like sadists. They know exactly what button to push to get that autonomic response.
Did anybody see the poster with the Lion King on it, like the little Simba? He's got a blep. He's got a little blep.
But
so cute.
If we hadn't had the 2D animated version, would anybody feel the same way about this film now?
It is completely nostalgia cashing in. That's what it is. It's basically Disney's on the children who watch the original Lion King are now old enough to be adults with their own children, so we're going to cash in, remake, and then the adults will have the warm fuzzy feeling of watching the original movie, and they'll take their kids to see this one.
Okay, counterpoint. Who on earth is asking for Dumbo to be rendered in unsettling clownish realism?
Yeah,
because that's just like, oh yeah, we've got Tim Burton to make Dumbo, but it's a horror movie. Again, the original was weird and off-putting enough. Thank you.
I'm just thinking of that one specific sequence in Dumbo. Imagine that rendered.
Oh, the drug sequence.
Yeah, the drug sequence.
Oh god, that's going to be weird.
Well, it's going to be like, I feel like with that as well, like they've tried to make a human backstory to it more, and like there isn't in the original Dumbo.
Well, they've added a big cast to this, which
the
never
Phallus
was.
with his missing hand.
Yeah, it's like none of this was in the original film. Why are you?
And the original film's quite short as well, really, in comparison to like the rest of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but I can see how. I mean, Pete's Dragon didn't do particularly good box office when it came out a few years ago, but at least tried to do something different based on the technology that we've got now to tell a story themed similarly. But it wasn't a remake of the original film, and I think that's where Disney needs to be more brave. And it's like, if you've got the technology to make photorealistic animals, tell a different story. There's hundreds of stories out there. Write a brand new story. Don't just retell one, because it just seems redundant for me. It's a redundant thing.
This is the whole thing with Disney as well. They always take the most basic of tales and remake them. I mean, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, the brilliant fairy tales, but Disney have to have their own Disney-fied version of these tales and then pretend they own copyright for eternity on these people.
At least with Sleeping Beauty, they did try and do something a bit more creative by having it be the Maleficent story.
Yeah.
And I think, like as Keith was saying, if like with Pete's Dragon, for instance, that wasn't the most popular, well-known Disney story. They should go back into their back catalogue and find stories that maybe audiences aren't familiar with and
The Black
revamp
Cauldron.
them. The Black Cauldron would be incredible with the technology we have now. Or go the other way and just do animated versions of Disney live-action films, because The Parent Trap makes a lot more sense as a cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, like, so I have no problem with it coming out and them what they're doing. It's like they're making so much money from the Avengers and Star Wars and Frozen. Well, they might as well just pump it into things like this, because at the end of the day, it is a nostalgia thing, and it is nice to see like these classics reimagined. And
it feels like they're just making stuff ready for Disney Plus's launch, and they're just getting a bigger catalogue so they can go, oh, look at this newish movie that was released recently.
But like, I mean, it's not harming anybody them doing it, because they're just pump. It's not like they haven't got the money to do it. They're just pumping it out. They're going to make money back, and why not? There's nothing to lose from them making this.
But it would be if it was a long gap between them. But if you look at Disney's slate for next year, you've got this and Aladdin and Dumbo, which are just 3 remakes. It's like, where's the original material outside of Star Wars and
even Pixar
Marvel
retreading every other story that they've ever written? There's no new creative. But when was the last time we had an original Pixar story?
Well, I would disagree with that slightly to say that Coco was a step in the right direction for Pixar, because it was touching on cultural touchstones that were totally off the normal American kind of thing, and there's a lot of nice stuff in Coco. I really, really like that. But I think Disney needs to be not relying on its 2 mainstays of Star Wars and Marvel, but needs to be telling new tales for modern kids rather than just going back. I mean, I can see, I probably will end up going to see The Lion King just because it's going to be interesting. But they were doing this shtick 18 years ago when they released Dinosaur. Dinosaur is pretty much a similar movie.
Fair enough with the Jungle Book, because that is an age-old story and you can retell it quite a lot of times, and it's one of those stories that is probably worth retelling quite often in cinema. But
disagree. It's like 3 versions within 1 year now or something.
I mean, not that. I'm just saying there's because we have that crowd of movies. But I mean, like, if there's 10 to 15 years worth of gap, it's always a good story to bring back. Yeah. But The Lion King, it's not had long enough to become a nostalgic movie enough to be able to remake.
Why not remake these classic 90s runs of films like Mulan and whatever, Aladdin and they were like, this was a huge run of films for Disney in the 90s. Why not remake them and have the same success?
I think I will be going to see Aladdin because the guy they've cast as Jafar is just fine as hell. It's like give a raise to whoever at Disney was like, what if Jafar but hot? But I think what made the 90s run of animation for Disney so incredible was that it was new.
I think it's because
it was the first time they were retelling these stories, and now it's like you're retelling the retelling of the story, which was obviously originated in Brothers Grimm, Arabian Nights. Lion King is a retelling of Hamlet. Mm-hmm. But it's like, well, at least if you're going to do do like a new generation of like retellings of stories that we haven't already got a movie of.
And I think part of the success of that 90s run of movies, it was the traditional style of animation, because it called back to the great early Disney stories of Snow White and Pinocchio and those kind of films, and it felt like this is like a resurgence of this Disney style.
I still think as well in that period they experimented more, because it was on TV recently and I absolutely love it. Emperor's New Groove is a funny movie, and I really, really like it. I love Treasure Planet. I loved Atlantis. I really dig Lilo and Stitch. The original
Lilo and Stitch is maybe one of my favourite Disney movies. It is so good. So I hope they leave that alone.
Could you imagine what Stitch is going to look like live action?
They're doing a live action.
But can you imagine what he's going to look like? Because he ain't going to be the fluffy, friendly ball.
Wasn't
it
in a recent Doctor Who episode?
Yeah. But like,
no, that was Nibbler from Futurama, wasn't it?
If you're saying about like Disney to do more original content, I can understand why they've shied away with it. Because after the steaming pile of turd that was Tomorrowland, which made them say no more original films.
I love Tomorrowland.
But no, it's trash.
It's great. It's not trash. It's great. It's got a great score. It's good. That's a good movie. That's a good Disney trying to do something different.
But it killed their chances of doing so.
But it killed their chances because people just want the same old toss.
I mean, looking like I watched the Nutcracker recently. Okay, they bought the rights to the Nutcracker and then tried to do something original, but that was trash as well. Right. So it seems when they try and do something original, they can't nail it.
To wrap this up, we'll have our usual democratic vote. Leigh, live action remakes, pointless or fine?
I kind of lean heavily on the pointless side, I think.
Keith?
Yeah, redundant.
Guy?
For the nostalgia, why not? But this is all leading towards live action Frozen, isn't it? So that's where the drawing point has to be.
When the snake's going to eat its own tail. I mean, I'm 31 years old. I'm not going to see a Disney film. This is not for me. It's let them have it. It's fine.
Aladdin?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Callen?
Yeah.
I'm not against it. If you want to go see it, you go see it. I don't know if I'll see The Lion King, but
so PG, I can't get in.
I think it.
To me, it smacks of shameless cash in and prepping content for their service.
Yeah, but that's what Disney is now. It's just a cash in all the way.
Have a differing review. Drop us an email. hello@geekybrummie.com or drop us a tweet. seeing as Christmas has been with us for an absolute age already, and it is now officially December, we thought we'd pick out some more of the egregious examples of advent calendars, considering they seem to have become a thing over the last few years. It's become something from having either the old tatty bit of cardboard with some pictures behind the windows, or even the chocolatey version, to being a thing now.
What kind of childhood do you live where you got the advent calendar with the pictures?
We even get a free one from the postcode lottery for that now.
Someone's knocking at the door?
Yep,
Someone's
ringing
knocking at
the
number
bell.
one.
But they like show their charities off that they donate to.
Oh my god, do you get the guy from the X Factor behind one of the doors? Oh, well, not even Jeff Brazier?
No.
Ah.
Right, so I've picked out a few advent calendars, and I think we've all picked out a couple of examples. My favourite one I have found is from Wearer, which is a German tool manufacturer, and they have a toolkit advent calendar.
Oh, I saw this. I love this. This is great.
So
that's not the response.
How big is it?
It's. It's.
Can we just click that little here for like?
It's £44.94, which is an odd pricing.
£44.94.
Yes.
Okay.
The popular classic amongst advent calendars raises the heart rates of true workmen and is a wonderful companion in the advent season.
Sexist.
Containing a combination of screwdriving tools that provide fun and great results.
This is getting erotic. This is written erotically.
A VDA craft form handle with 8 different insulated blades. A craft form handle with 1/4-inch rapid adapter bit holder. And 8 89mm long 1/4-inch bits.
If you're buying this for someone who's really into DIY, why don't you just buy them some tools for actual Christmas?
In addition, 4 L-key wrenches with Hex Plus profile that avoid the rounding out of hexagon socket screws, whilst allowing 20% more torque to be transferred.
I thought this is actually a practical gift.
The set is stored optimally in a textile folding pouch.
Oh, nice.
You're giving this your best Dervla Kerwan.
With the self-adhesive hook and loop fastener zone, the tool pouch can also be easily attached to the workshop wall, van side, or workshop trolley. Alternatively, it can be instantly docked with the Wearer to-go transport system. Another highlight of this advent calendar is the special edition craft form bottle opener, which glows in the dark. Suitable for the dark nights of the winter season.
Sir, I have a question. At which point do you get the belt?
I think it's the last pouch, probably.
Well, what are you doing with all the stuff before you get the belt to put it in?
If
I just need to give you the bullet points here. The Wearer Advent Calendar, the calorie-free alternative to all Christmas and screwdriver fans. For 20 different tool applications, including 8 electrical tools and a phosphorescent bottle opener.
Stop.
All in all, a 24-piece tool combination.
You said it was 20 and then it's 24. I'm confused.
It says 20 different tool applications.
So
but
there's 24 days.
Yeah, but you get 2 handles, the pouch, and the bottle opener.
Pouch.
Yes.
You don't get four candles.
For full list of contents, see attached datasheet.
Oh, a datasheet.
Does it download in Excel format?
It's in PDF.
Naughty.
So
that was disturbing. To be Callen's girlfriend.
PDF is the noise that Callen makes at that moment.
PDF.
No, it's butterfly.
Have you confused it with PDA? Because you don't want to be doing PDF in public.
Or DTF.
Would you buy this advent calendar? Anybody? I mean, if you had a screwdriver fan in the family,
what was the retail price?
£45.
Okay.
But just buy them tools for actual Christmas. This is my thing with this whole nonsense of Christmas commercialism gone mad. We already spend so much money on actual presents, and now instead of a couple of quid for just some chocolates in a little calendar, now you're like, oh yeah, you need to spend like 40, 50, 60 pounds on 24 days of other presents.
Full disclosure, I buy the Lego Advent Calendar, Star Wars
Loser.
one, every year. It's always nice. You always
Brian, you're part of the problem.
No, but the Lego Advent Calendar's a thing
much you
because
spend
you
on
at
it?
least get. It was £18 this year.
£18 you could have spent on your wife for a present.
She got the M&S Beauty
You're welcome,
Advent Calendar.
You're welcome.
How much is the M&S Beauty Advent Calendar?
Well, according to their original pricing, was £350 down to £35. according to their in-store pricing.
So someone fluffed a zero.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. A tool advent calendar seems to be pushing the boat out completely.
I feel like it's probably for tools, to be honest with you.
Yes. It's like, I mean, another example I found was the Joe Malone advent calendar.
Who's Joe Malone?
She does candles. 300.
Sorry, she does candles.
£300.
For
So
candles.
that's for 24 little scented candles.
A shimmering countdown bursting with twinkling gifts, colognes, candles, and more.
But at least if you've got more than one person in the household, you could all share the scent of the candle as it burns.
I mean, unless you're.
But again, a scented candle is a great present just to give on actual Christmas.
Right, the most expensive advent calendar found was £10,000.
Oh.
Was this in Gwyneth's Goop Guide?
For rare whiskies, basically like these rare and unlimited whiskies,
Again,
which you get a shot of.
Great present to give for actual Christmas.
Why would the candle? Why can't you just go and buy like one of those big bag of candles, Moan Base?
So if you get an advent calendar, which is counting you down to Christmas, that cost you 10 grand, what are you having for Christmas?
I'm assuming a pony. I found the Wedgwood Christmas advent calendar. That was down from £600 to £480.
That's a weird price to drop it to.
The Wedgwood Christmas 2018 Advent Calendar is the ideal gift for a loved one or to use around the home this holiday season. A friend or family will be delighted to receive this item as a present made from porcelain. So it's got no contents. It is a porcelain Wedgwood Advent Calendar which you put stuff into yourself.
What?
Which you have to spend £480 on.
But it's porcelain, though.
Yes.
And then you just put like some little Hershey's Kisses in there. No.
I
shan't.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Why don't you just fill your toilet with chocolates, and so when you flush it, you get a bowl full of chocolates?
Wait, can't it be reused year on year though?
Would you spend £480 on a porcelain advent calendar?
Okay, let me hold on. Bear with me on this one.
Oh god.
All it's got to do is last 480 years. And it's cheaper than buying an advent calendar each year.
What's the average lifespan of a human?
I didn't say it had to last. You had to last 480
Can you
years.
imagine Callen, age 98? Grandad, what are you leaving us? I've got nothing, kids, except this advent calendar I bought in 2018.
It is the year 2500. Humanity has been destroyed, yet the descendants of the Danes clan still have their.
Whatever you do, kids, don't let the robot overlords get your advent calendar.
They all cherish it like they open each day. Like
it is one of those things that, like, a porcelain advent calendar is one of those utterly useless things that you probably would inherit from like a really from your like worst relative. That and like here's some like some like dining silver and like some like a china like dog and then like this thing and the 24 those little holes in it.
But the 24th one will have broken off, and you'll have to go on a quest across the apocalyptic wastelands.
And then you go to like the Hunger Games Antiques Roadshow.
But this feels like it should be like the main like bit that's been stolen in an Enid Blyton Secret 7 novel. It sounds like the most tweeiest thing ever to have a porcelain advent calendar.
So they should remake the Terminator with this. When John Connor arrives to protect Sarah Connor, it's come with me if you want to protect your advent calendar.
It's Wedgwood, you know.
Porcelain.
Leigh, you've got a few examples as well.
First of all, 2 words: pork scratchings.
I did see that. Yes. I saw the pork scratcher one. I saw the marshmallow one. I thought, are these worthy of interest?
I'm coming around to the idea.
How much is
£12.
Oh,
okay.
Is it from the Snaffling Pig Company?
Yes, it is. It says "Merry Pigging Christmas" on it.
I mean, that's unoriginal, but okay.
I also thought I'd go into Poundland because figured that would be a great place to go for terrible advent calendars.
I love Poundland.
However, let me down. The only one that was in there was the very badly behaved elf. Strictly for adults only. No idea what's in it.
Oh my god, should we play it for next time?
I think those are going to be specially moulded chocolates.
Oh, there's going to be like pants that you can eat.
Probably, yeah.
Some like really, really flimsy, like poorly made handcuffs.
Yes, exactly.
On that note, if you are that way inclined...
What's sexually active?
Are the next 2 words out of your mouth going to be Ann Summers?
No, actually, I didn't think to check that one. But if you're of that mind of thinking, but don't want to be seen in Poundland, In Selfridges,
if you have too much of a
Yeah.
attitude not to
Sorry,
be seen
Mr. Wedgwood.
in
What were you saying?
Selfridges, you can get an Amarelli premium erotic advent calendar for £250,
guys interested.
including.
it?
What have we got?
If you struggle with the bright lights in the city, there is a nice face mask for when you go to sleep that was sort of like
A blindfold.
blindfold. Yeah. And I
If
can't
you feel
describe-
like you're going to fall out the bed, are there a pair of handcuffs that you can securely attach you to the bed frame so you can't
haven't-
fall out at night time?
I haven't seen those. No.
There's various forms of
Oh my god. Is it
vibration devices.
a advent calendar? Finally, we've cracked it. This is the one good use.
This is the best thing about this. A stylish gold tone box encases the gifts and sits discreetly on your dressing table.
There's no
so you can
discreetly
have it
about
there, and everyone can see it, but like...
And
they're
then
like,
what they'll do is go and open the doors that are already being open and go, oh.
Oh, Mandy. Oh, didn't Kevin buy you a lovely advent calendar? Are there some nice treats in that? And she'd be like, oh, yes.
And the other one I found, I don't agree with the whiskey one, but I can at least appreciate
The
a nice...
£10,000 whiskey advent calendar.
I can appreciate an aged whiskey. It's not for me, but I can appreciate it.
Can you appreciate £10,000 worth of whiskey over 24 days?
No.
I bet I could.
But a vodka advent calendar. Not premium vodka, just regular vodka.
Is it Glen's vodka advent calendar?
It's not. It's made by a brand called Drinks by the Dram, and one of them is Ciroc. So it's just like run-of-the-mill, easy-to-get vodka.
On a similar...
Just buy a bottle of vodka and drink one shot every 24.
£120.
So
for easily accessible vodka.
My favourite example of these, the ridiculousness of advent calendars I've seen on social media is there was a gin advent calendar in Sainsbury's for £60. Somebody just fashioned their own ingenious alternative and bought a bottle of gin and then just marked 24 little notches down the side of it. So it was like an advent candle that gets you sloshed.
At least with this, you're getting like 24 days of actual alcohol. M&S have a cocktails advent calendar, but it's actually chocolate liqueurs and not cocktails. It is a single small bottle of gin on Christmas Day, and that's it. But the way it's advertised...
Is that to knock back your despair on the last day?
Yeah.
But
the way it's like presented is as if it's got every day is a bottle of alcohol, but it's not.
Also...
It's like those people who bring the mixers to the party. They don't bring alcohol, they'll just bring a cocktail mixer.
I mean, I don't know anyone that does that because I'm not friends with those sorts of people, Ryan. But
while we're talking about advent calendars, I just want to clear up whether I'm right or wrong on the idea of should it have 24 windows or should it have 25 windows?
24.
You want the extra chocolate? Come on, Keith.
It's supposed to be traditionally 24 because on the 25th you'd get your actual Christmas present, so you don't need that 25th one. Well, it's like 25 is now the bonus.
Can I also just say that if you're one of those companies like a certain YouTube influencer last year who creates an advent calendar where it's not even 24 days,
say her name,
where it's
about it.
Zoella.
Yeah.
Zoella sucks.
Yeah.
We read her book.
Yeah. It's the fact that hers had something like 12 days on it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. No. Get bent. I hope you lose all your money to Nigerian scammers.
I actually found a couple of 12-day examples in M&S as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't it originally 12 days, though, before it went to 24?
Right.
Because the whole
that's
12
the 12
days of
days of
Christmas.
Christmas.
That's Christmas on the 13th of December back in the day, Callen.
Callen, the 12 days of Christmas or the 12 days after Christmas?
Talking of, I found one more example which wasn't an advent calendar, but I think we need to bring up. Star Wars The Force 2 Collection socks. This is the ultimate Star Wars collector's box set of 12 socks with a mystery 13th pair. This limited edition set includes the pilot, Tarkin, Emperor, Trooper, Droid, Vader, C-3PO, Chewie, Bounty, Yoda, Lando, X-Wing pilot, Carbonite, and a question mark.
Jar Jar.
You'll find out soon enough, young Padawan.
This is not a trap. The ballsack face guy. It's got to be the ballsack face guy, right?
No, you'll find out soon enough, young Padawan. This is not a trap.
Ah, yes!
Each sock is made out of a 200 needle count luxury cotton and features deep heel pockets, seamless toe closures, and athletic ribbing at the cuff to keep your socks in place all day. Be the person who gives the best gift with this Force 2 box set of socks. this most exclusive box set in the galaxy, limited quantities. How much would you pay for this? 13 pairs of Star Wars socks, which don't look that nice, to be honest.
I would pay £.
How bad are the socks?
They're going to be wanting £99.
Yeah.
Keep going.
140.
Higher.
What?
200.
Higher.
340.
£220 for 13 pairs of Star Wars socks.
Yeah, but collector's edition.
And you know what? We deserve that. We deserve that.
Just don't take them out of the box.
Disney hates us.
Yeah.
And yet we keep giving them our money. So you know what? Honestly, it's what we deserve.
I'm just going to add something in.
Keith just put that into his basket.
On my fantastic beast rant earlier, Keith, did you find it funny when one of the characters said it's a trap in the film? Because I know I laughed out loud at that moment.
No, I didn't.
Before we wrap, I just realised I had one other honourable mention because it's not actually. It's not actually.
Cut Keith dead.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I've been waiting for ages.
No, go on, keep first. And I'll do my honourable mention.
Because you looked at all these, and I was looking at these expensive ones. Charlotte Tilbury apparently is a big thing, but I found the best, what I consider the best advent calendar. There's only one of its kind in all of existence. It was auctioned off recently. Guy will love it because it's somebody you might recognise. Christopher Spencer, who's a local British Birmingham-based artist, put together his Cold War Steve advent calendar. So this is a Steve McFadden-themed advent calendar.
I saw this. Brilliant.
With it has kind of lower level British urban celebrities hobnobbing with politicians and stuff.
He
put it on.
cuts pictures of Steve McFadden and ultimate other celebrities.
Yeah, sticks them in with Richard Nixon,
Amazing.
Vladimir Putin. So he put this online to sell off. Also, including as well, this would have sold it to you perfectly, is that it came with an autographed deep-filled Fray Bentos pie, as well as your advent calendar. And it went for £410.
Brilliant.
So one of a kind.
Would you like the Steve McFadden signed Fray Bentos pie?
Of course I would.
I don't
well,
think
Guy, surprise! No.
I don't think it was signed by Steve McFadden. I think it was signed by the artist itself. So, but that I thought that was at least,
well, if you have like £3 left after buying that advent calendar, you can go to any nightclub around the country, get yourself a selfie with Steve McFadden whilst holding the Fray Bentos pie, and you've still got £1 to get home with on the bus as well.
What's that kid got to say for himself there?
Right, so this isn't an advent calendar per se,
Right,
but I
okay,
think
so the end of the feature then.
it
Cool.
would work as an advent calendar, and I think it would be even better. I found this whilst looking for presents. It's the 2019 bubble wrap calendar. So every day of the year, you get a single square of bubble wrap that you can pop.
Can't pop the bubble wrap.
And that's
Callen,
it.
It's dangerous. It might explode.
Oh yeah.
And they want $25 for that.
Yes.
Okay.
But as an advent calendar,
You
that
get
would
a
be
sheet
fun.
of bubble wrap from like any store for what? Like a few quid?
That's why it'd be great as a
Literally
Christmas
order
advent
anything
calendar.
online.
You could pop as many
Yeah.
bubbles as you want. Don't be restricted to
bubble.
one per day.
One a day. That feels like it's trying to, like you're trying to wean yourself
Right.
off the addictive habit of bubble popping, where it's like I allow myself one pop a day, but that's all.
Viv and I, in readiness for our flat move, bought from Amazon a 60-metre roll of bubble wrap.
Oh, it's in your crapper, innit?
Oh, have you?
No, it's at
have
Viv's
you-
mum and dad's now.
Have you wrapped each other up in it?
No.
Well, what's the point?
We did like spend a good hour just like tearing bits off and popping it, which was fun. But it was.
Could have thought of something else you could have done that hour, Ryan. To be honest with you.
Have you tried wrapping yourself up in it and then like rolling yourself down the stairs for fun?
No, that's what Phil just said.
And that's dangerous, and also potentially could be seen as maybe someone looks like maybe Ryan's being murdered.
Right. So how much do you think a 40-metre roll of bubble wrap would cost?
A couple of quid.
It was like 14 quid.
So still less than the
Yes.
calendar.
Yeah.
Bubble wrap. Okay.
Yes, and you can wrap every item in your house with lots to spare over, which we discovered.
And you could just pop one a day. Yeah.
You can pop a lot more.
You might get to the end of that before you get to the end of your Wedgwood pottery calendar.
Oh, let's get to the end of this feature for pop calendars.
That is that time of the year where we recommend some purchases which are not advent calendars, but we think could be nice, quite presents for your geeky friends and relatives.
Ho.
Not Guy. We do not recommend Guy as a present. To start us off, Leigh, what are your 3 picks for your Geeky Christmas gift guide?
Okay. So for under £10, I found a place on Etsy called Geeky Treats Boutique, and they will make custom Lego minifigs for about £4.50.
Nice.
And various different characters they're selling, but I think you can request things, so that was pretty good.
So we could get one made of Callen Danes?
Yes, you could.
We've already got a Lego minifig, it's just a bit oversized.
For under 100, I'm gonna I was trying to think of what I could possibly recommend for this, but I figured let's go with the D&D starter set. You can get it from Forbidden Planet for $16.99, and I'd recommend getting a different set of dice rather than what's in there. There's a really good place called Gatekeeper Gaming. They do a set called Halfsies, where the colours of the dice are 2 different colours. They're about £9 for a set. So,
fancy.
And for the expensive gift,
unlimited price gift,
the unlimited price gift. Well, since I am the game guy, I'm going to have to go with the console bundles. So there is a PS4 going on the game website, which comes with Red Dead Redemption 2 and Uncharted 4 for about £340.
Not a bad deal.
On Amazon, you can get an Xbox One S with Forza Horizon 4 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey with 2 controllers for £200. Which is very
a
good.
decent deal.
And then there is the Nintendo Switch Super Smash Brothers bundle, which is about $320.
Nice.
So, and it's got like the special decal on the dock with characters from the game. So
cool. Worth picking up.
Yeah.
Keith, what geeky gifts have you brought to this table?
You might have to shop around a little bit for the first one for under £10. But I want to recommend it's just come out. It's the Immortal Hulk Volume 1.
Not 25 kids walk into a bank.
No, it's sold out. It's so popular that it's sold out everywhere. This is collecting Al Ewing and Joe Bennett's recent run of the horror-styled Hulk run. I've not been picking it up in singles apart from the occasional cover, but this is a collection of the first 6 issues, and it's fantastic at the moment, so well worth picking up.
Nice.
For my choice up to 100, I'm going to leave it a little bit open, but it's recommending a website called denix.co.uk.
Right.
Where you can go along and fill your boots with replica Western weapons to fulfill your live-action Red Dead Redemption needs.
Oh my god!
So they've got various revolvers, peacekeepers, and other kind of old Western paraphernalia. They'll do holsters as well, but they're a little bit more expensive. But you can get fake kind of non-firing, but they'll spin and they'll make a noise. So you can pretend to be your favourite Red Dead Redemption characters, but it's worth going to have a look. There's loads of other weapons. So if you're into medieval stuff, they've got other bits and pieces. But that's kind of cool.
Phil looked genuinely appalled. My jaw hit the floor with excitement. Like, got an Anna Stetson. Yes.
And for my unlimited value piece, it's a personal choice. If anybody wants to buy it, I think you can shop around. Probably knocking around somewhere between the 200 to 300 point is the 1/6 scale Hot Toys figure of John Wick, which is basically just a replica Keanu Reeves.
I'm surprised you just didn't say, I want to hire Keanu Reeves for a day under the Christmas tree.
But he comes with different heads and different hands and lots of different weapons and stuff. It's a pretty awesome looking toy.
I would hire Keanu Reeves for a night under the Christmas tree.
Guy, what geeky gifts are you pulling out your sack?
Oh, wow, Ryan, that's weird. I bought you the calendar from Selfridges.
Thank you.
And the tool.
I bought you the Weira tool set. Glow-in-the-dark bottle opener.
Something weird happened recently, and I actually started reading comics.
That's so weird.
Let me
God,
sit
you're
down for a
such a
moment.
nerd. Oh.
We don't use that derogatory term on this show, Callen. That's offensive. We must apologise for the views of Callen Danes. He is an invalid. So, yeah. So I started reading Spider-Gwen, and it's great. I wanted to read Spider-Man, but then there's lots of that from back to 1962 or something like that. So that's a lot of time to invest in. I don't have the money to buy those comics, so I thought I'd just jump in at Spider-Gwen instead. So largely you can get Spider-Gwen comics for under a tenner.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't buy them direct from Amazon or Forbidden Planet or Nostalgia and Comics, if you buy them from, like, sellers on Amazon. Sorry, Nostalgia and Forbidden Planet, but you can get them for under £10. We love you. But yes, Spider-Gwen's great.
I can't believe you like Spider-Gwen. I would never have saw that coming.
Why?
Because I thought that you'd find it too sort of like... I don't know.
Are you trying to sound sexist?
No, that actually wasn't
Feels
what
like
I
you're
was
trying
trying
to
to say.
sound
Guy, what's your up to £100 gift?
Well, you know, as I'm a massive sexist and everything, up to £100 would be the Doctor Who Barbie.
Oh, that is a good shout. I know several grown women who have that on their Christmas list.
You know, so one grown man who's bought one has it coming this week.
I probably know quite several grown men who'd buy that as well.
I do have one on the way. I'm very excited about receiving her through the post.
Jodie Whittaker for the post.
Do you remember that episode of Rugrats when Tommy's waiting for the doll to come for the post? He's like,
you can bring your Jodie Whittaker Barbie and play with Keith's John Wick doll.
I'm now picturing you as Angelica, and that poor Doctor Who Barbie's going to have half of its hair pulled out like the doll Cynthia.
Well, like, I feel a bit
Didn't
bad.
Cynthia have a very similar style to Jodie Whittaker's Doctor?
Well, it was short blonde hair, but also it was like it had been pulled out in chunks.
I feel kind of bad now because, like, last time we were all together in the studio, I'd bought my nephew the Doctor Who Jodie Whittaker action figure for Christmas, which he's still to get. But like, I've got the much better one. Like, I looked at his and I was kind of like, yeah, no, I want that one. So
it's like the face isn't not as detailed enough. I want the Barbie version.
I have bought so many presents for other people and ended up keeping them for myself.
So that's about £60, but it'll probably be more if you haven't managed to order it like I have. And then this is not necessarily geeky, but for me, I'm a massive geek when it comes to this artist. So and also Callen, I'm not a sexist because I'm recommending the whole back catalogue of Kate Bush albums, which are just been reissued on vinyl. So for £360, you can get this whole entire woman's work.
That is a whole lot of Bush.
It is Keith, you got that one little reference there like that. It's go and buy these records. They're all fantastic and you need them in your collection, and I'm glad they've finally been reissued and put back out there. So just forget about the song where Rolf Harris appears. But yeah, go and get the Kate Bush records for people because you can all dance to Wuthering Heights on Christmas Day.
Very nice. Phil, what have you selected from the geeky gifts going around?
It is so hard trying to find anything half decent under £10. Especially at Christmas. Just like Googling geeky gifts under £10, you come up with so much tat. But so I've been recently rewatching Archer on Netflix, and so my choice for £9.99, you can get How to Archer, the ultimate guide to espionage, style, women, and also cocktails.
That's from the ISIS era of Archer before they had to rebrand.
Yes, yeah. So it is just one of those sort of like TV show tie-in kind of annual thingies where you will learn how to dress properly, drive an elephant, field strip an AK-47, haggle with the Thai prostitute, kill a man, and also prepare a fabulous brunch, along with many other things. So that's,
It's sage advice for their times.
I feel like I might have ghostwritten this in my sleep at some point.
How many pages is it?
Random question. What's a bizarre question that was?
I wonder how much I'm going to learn from this.
192.
Okay.
So you can get that for $9.99 on Amazon.
Nice.
What size is the book in terms of
what folio size is it?
What size of print are they using?
I don't know. The regular kind.
Have they gone for Times New Roman, or are they casual with a bit of Arial?
Well, actually,
is it illustrated throughout?
There's no Wi-Fi in here, otherwise I would click on the look inside button. But, so then for up to £100, just because I am constantly recommending podcasts and audiobooks, I'm going to go with an audiobook subscription for £69.99. That lasts you 12 months.
How many pages has it got?
Is that
how many months does it last?
So that's Audible for audiobooks.
Also owned by Amazon, I believe.
Oh, probably.
I believe so.
Yes.
I think I'm owned by Amazon at this point. So are you.
With SponCon.
And then for the over £100 or whatever, just it's a laugh. You can get a bat signal for £300.
What wattage is it?
Is it like full size? Like you could stick it on your roof and it all like...
No!
Oh!
No,
and you can't actually call Batman.
It's just like a lamp.
Do you light it, but you only get like a slightly rubbisher Batman, like Nightwing turns up?
I mean,
diss Nightwing.
I like Nightwing.
It's just a guy in a bin bag.
It displays the bat signal at 7 to 10 feet. So it's a bit of fun.
Nice.
If you've got
For short-sighted Batmen.
Yeah.
Age 15 years and up, not suitable for Callen.
Can I just point this out that if anybody wants to make a real life size bat signal, then for 2019 you can be the best gift guide or whatever it is.
Callen made a joke.
The money no object gift guide. That will be guaranteed.
Callen, what have you selected from the Early Learning Centre for us?
Ryan made a joke and it hit the ground.
I've got Tumbly Wumblies.
I got the train set. You know, the one that's always
Price and some Play-Doh.
I got a Teletubby. Twice the tank engine.
That little broom with goggle eyes on it.
This one doesn't technically count as geeky, so I have this one and a geeky one for under £10. Okay, the official BS button. So if anyone knows like the old Staples button where you press it and it goes, that's so easy or whatever
Get
it
one of
is.
those for the show, Ryan. I feel like we need it.
Yes.
And it would-
Don't the last leg already have one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you just press it and then it will call out for people's BS.
We've got Phil Ellis. We don't
Yes.
need a button to tell us when something's BS.
Just for when Phil isn't here. But anyway, but my geeky one from the £10 is Super Mario Bros. Pixel Craft.
Okay.
It's essentially just like a bunch of magnets, and you can make like art of like the original like Mario's while they were still in
It's
like.
basically 8-bit art.
It's like you
It's
remember that
8-bit art,
face
yeah.
thing, you know, where it was like a bearded man and you just dragged like the shavings onto his face and stuff like that when you were a kid. Like you had those things and those pens. Alright, I was just drawing on bold, man.
So those are my two for under 10.
Under
And then
£100?
For under £100, if you're a Marvel fan, I've got
Who
the
isn't?
Infinity Gauntlet,
Keith's got that.
which you could like run. I don't actually.
That's Keith's special glove.
I don't actually know what it does, but I assume it makes noises, and you can run around.
Why would it make noises?
The Infinity Gauntlet didn't make noises in the movie.
Hang on, that it did.
It did.
Yeah, it made that.
That
it
was
made those-
Thanos making
The
the
Infinity
clicking.
Gauntlet doesn't make that noise.
It made the snapture.
No, but it makes like shh noises when he
No,
does it.
no, it
when he makes
doesn't.
when he does the like power time back
That's
time
the
things.
Infinity Stones, not the. Move on.
It has the Infinity Stones in it.
I'm sorry, are you disappointed, Ryan, that it's not an actual Infinity Gauntlet with the base elements of the
Oh,
universe?
if
in it?
I'm snapping, there is one particular person who is at the top of the list.
Looking at that picture, that glove is bigger than that man.
I like how they've got a
wear
rubbish
it, like-
Hugh Jackman lookalike for this bit.
I've seen things like that on other websites that aren't Amazon. That is not.
And okay, if for some
Money
reason,
money no object.
oh no, one more. If you
One
Star Trek-
each. We said.
Star Trek electronic door chime in the style of the original '60s era. But anyway, that was
That's going to get nicked off your door frame.
Yeah.
right. Money no object, and I kind of messed up with this one twice because I had one in mind. Custom Death Star.
I'm getting a migraine.
Fire roasting pit, but it's sold out and you can't buy it.
That's
and-
the whole point of money no object is you can buy it.
Jet suit, £340,000 because I completely misinterpreted the budget.
No, money no object.
Money no
But
object.
yeah, but money no object. Everyone spends under £500. I come in here with a jetpack.
Somebody
that's-
please help me. Somebody,
First time in your life you've ever shown a bit of ambition, Callen. I'm proud of you.
can we strap that onto you now and blast you out the studio?
I've seen that on the Gadget Show. It don't work.
Doesn't it?
Not really.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
Right, it's my selection time now. I'm going to cheat slightly with my under £10 because it's under £10 a month, but I recommend getting a VPN, which is
Why, Brian? Why?
which is a really useful piece of technology, mainly because it makes you appear anywhere you want to in the world.
What are you trying to hide?
Nothing. I'm just saying a VPN is a very secure methodology of using the internet.
Use it when you've got your Infinity Glove on.
I just recommend a VPN. It's a very good purchase for anybody who actually browses the web, and it helps you avoid malware attacks, scammy banners, fake e-commerce sites. And if you want to appear in a different part of the country, part of the world, because a certain show might be available there, not that we recommend it on the show, but there is alternative uses for a VPN. And NordVPN are doing a sale at the minute. I think it's something like £4 a month, which is actually a really good deal for a VPN service.
Arrest that man.
For my under £100, again from Mr. Amazon. They have dropped the spice of the Sphero Star Wars droids. Have anybody seen these before?
I have a BB-8.
Yes. Well, you can pick up R2D2 for 50 quid at the moment on Amazon.
Is that a new child in your family?
Yes.
These are great. I picked mine up off eBay a long time ago. And one of the things they do brilliantly now is you can watch back. I think you can watch pretty much all of the Star Wars films.
Yeah.
If you have your robot.
Mm-hmm.
The spherical ones have to be in their little thing, or the R2 units can be different, but they react to what's going on screen. So when bad things are happening to robots, they squeal and do kind of weird stuff. It's quite funny to watch the film with them.
It's like sitting in the cinema with an annoying person.
But I've heard a rumour that TK Maxx have had quite a significant stock of these for even cheaper. I think 40 quid is what some people
think. $49.99. I've seen them. They've had the BB9.
Yes.
They've had the Imperial looking ones. But although the R2, the all black R2 unit's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and you can have the Force Band included, which means you can like wave your arm rather than have to use the control.
Just use the app. It's fine.
And for my money no object purchase, because I really want a new TV, it is. I'll get the ridiculously long model number out the way. It's the LG OLED 65W8PLA Signature OLED for HDR 4K Ultra HD Smart TV.
Is this the wallpaper TV?
It is the wallpaper
TV.
TV.
Oh my god, I so saw this.
Which is 65 inches, including Freeview Play, FreeSat HD, Dolby Atmos base units, Ultra HD certified with HDR for £4,000. Save £2,000 at the minute on their Black Friday sale.
Can I just say, I'm very disappointed in you for not going for the 77-inch module and opting for the smaller one.
I was being
size queen.
Yeah,
I was being reasonable.
Not selfish, Callen.
But it's basically a giant TV with a giant sound dock, but the TV itself is millimetres thin and goes onto your wall like wallpaper.
I've seen one of these. They're quite nice.
They are really nice. So if anybody would like me to buy me that, they're only £4,000 at John Lewis at the minute.
Although we should petition TV makers to start naming their TVs like cars.
Mm-hmm.
So they should call it the Samsung Bearsted. It's big.
To wrap it up, there is one last gift guide, which we're going to recommend. Give us a donation at Ko-fi.
So smooth.
Yeah. It was almost a decent segue.
While you hear that, just imagine a small animated carrot bouncing around. Or a small animated coffee cup with a
small animated Elton John.
Or just Elton John sitting at the piano.
Gradually
aging backwards.
I shall do a little
I like how
illustration.
Elton John ages backwards in that advert. His hairline also recedes as he de-ages.
His glasses get bigger.
Yes. But anyway, that was our geeky gift guide. So we'll pop an article up on the Geeky Brummie website if you've missed any of those.
Go buy that stuff!
What's going on? It's Geeky going, son.
It is time for your week in Geek and what's going on in the local area. Before all of that, it is time for our picks of the week. Mr. Keith Bloomfield, what have you selected for Comic of the Week?
68 kids go into a Christmas down cutting tree yard and get a Christmas tree.
Christmas, not like a forest, a Christmas tree down cutting yard.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the signage on the wall. Come to our Christmas tree cutting down yard and pick up your Christmas tree.
And then they take it to a bank as a gesture of goodwill after they robbed it.
It wouldn't even fit on my app, that title, which is quite good. I'm going to kind of not cheat a little bit, but it's the first issue in a set of books that are coming out all through December. So they're all tied under the main title Defenders. So this is Marvel reuniting the original Defenders, which are Hulk, Namor, Doctor Strange, and the Silver Surfer. We're kicking off the first issue under the Defenders title will be the Immortal Hulk #1, which is out this week.
Yep.
So it's basically the overarching story is called The Best Defense, and it starts here. Stephen Strange is dead, a charred skeleton in an abandoned barn on the edge of a deserted town. Bruce Banner wants to know why. He won't stop until he has the truth in his hands, with or without the Immortal Hulk. And that's Al Ewing. He's one of the greatest writers in comics at the moment.
He wants the truth.
He wants the truth.
He can't handle the truth.
Does the truth make him angry?
But yeah, just be prepared that you're going to have to be forking out pretty much once a week to pick up that whole set. So there'll be Hulk, I think it's Namor, then Doctor Strange, then Silver Surfer, and then there's going to be the
so
whole
on a
Defenders.
rotation, basically.
So it's kind of the first tie-in issues, which will bring them all back together.
Leigh, video game of the week.
Everyone is here. Super Smash Brothers comes out this week, the 7th. For the Switch.
We got a little play of it at MCM.
Yes, I did actually get to.
Sorry.
I did get to have a good play with all the newcomers this week. In fact, I may get up something on the website about the newcomers.
Yes.
See if I can get something up there.
Not the piranha plant before you even start, Kallen.
No.
But
it's DLC.
It does have the Wii Fit trainer, who is the best character in that game.
Callen looks like a Wii character.
It does look like a me, yes.
But yes, game comes out on the 7th and is looking very, very good based on what I've played. But because I like to try and highlight something that's not as well known as well, I'm also going to put the Persona dancing games that are coming out this week as well.
Is it Dance Dance Persona Revolution, basically?
Pretty much. It's a rhythm game, and it's basically just using the Persona music to dance to, and it's very weird, it's very Japanese, but if you like weird Japanese things and you like rhythm games, definitely worth checking out.
Sounds cool. Phil, podcast of the week.
So this is something that I binged while I was driving back up from Stansted Airport at 4 in the morning. It is an audio drama. It is called The Horror of Dolores Roach. It is a wickedly grotesque and funny retelling of Sweeney Todd set in modern Manhattan. It's about this woman, Dolores, who gets out of prison after 16 years for selling weed, goes back to her old neighbourhood, finds it's been completely gentrified and taken over by hipsters, ends up renting a little room under an empanada shop, gets into some trouble, one thing leads to another, there's a dead guy, and the dead guy ends up in the empanadas. And it's just 8 episodes. I think they're between 20 and 30 minutes each. It's really, really funny. There's some great voice acting in there. The main narrator is Daphne Rubin Vega, who originated one of the roles in Rent on Broadway. So she's this phenomenal actress. It's funny. It's dark. And it's got kind of a really twisted allegory about gentrification and sort of modern life and all that. And it's just really, really fun. So that's The Horror of Dolores Roach. It's by Gimlet Media. And
same people who did Homecoming.
So all of their scripted stuff at the moment is just, they're killing it. So that's wherever you download your podcasts. That's The Horror of Dolores Roach.
Awesome. Guy, thing of the week.
Yeah, no, I don't normally get to add anything here, but I just wanted to add that Vic and Bob are back on the TV with Big Night Out. It's a
TV show of the week.
Like, just watch it, support Vic and Bob, and make more TV, because it's just stupidity and brilliance, and we need them on the TV more. So please watch it, because I love them.
So it's a limited run of Big Night Out.
Yeah, just we just want to see them prattling around every week if possible. So just give them views, please.
Awesome. Please. Right, returning to the local area from the Saturday the 1st of December, tonight it's £5 screenings of The Mockingbird of Escape to New York 4K restoration.
I love that film.
Yes. In 1997, a major war between the United States and Soviet Union is concluded with the entire island of Manhattan being converted into a giant maximum security prison. When Air Force One is hijacked and crashed into the island, the president, Donald Pleasance, is taken hostage by a group of inmates. Snake Plissken, Kurt Russell, when not playing Santa, is a former Special Forces soldier turned criminal.
You buried the lead there. It's Kurt Russell in the 80s wearing an eye patch.
He is sent in to recruit. He's recruited to retrieve the president in exchange for his own freedom. Very, very classic movie. Great John Carpenter movie.
The sequel was pretty fun too.
Yeah, but 4K, so it's going to be really pretty in that.
I did, when I went to see the new Halloween movie, there was an incredible trailer for all of the John Carter restorations, and they look phenomenal.
Yes. Also on today from 2 p.m. So Mac Birmingham, showing BFI Comedy Genius presents Educating Rita.
Hey!
Yes. Edgbaston-born Julie Walters stars as the titular character Rita, a witty working-class British hairdresser who decides to seek an education at the Open University. Rita just needs a tutor and selects Dr. Frank Warrant, Michael Caine, an alcoholic college lecturer whose life is in the shambles. It's a really good film. Really, really great acting. I recommend it. On tonight at Arena Birmingham, Sunday 1st December, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope with live orchestra.
Also known as just Star Wars.
Yes. So, really cool experience to see with live orchestra. From the 3rd of December to the 29th of December, Benidorm Live at the new Alexander Theatre.
Oh dear.
Yes. Derek Litton has written an all-new set of Alicante escapades for much loved characters. They swap sangria on stage after a quick spruce up at the Blow and Go.
It's such a naff TV show, but that is one of my fave terrible puns to have a salon called Blow and Go.
And it's got quite a lot of the cast in it. So
Johnny Vegas in it.
13th to 16th December at Brindley Place Winter Film Festival. Brindley Place Film Festival is returning with a festive twist. Join them in Central Square to watch your films free on a big screen. There will be lots of heaters to keep everything cozy, along with bundles of blankets. A limited number of seats will also be available in the festivals to bring your own picnic chairs and blankets. So keep around the Brindley Place website. And the film list is Thursday the 13th of December, Gremlins at 6pm. 14th of December, Elf at 6pm. 15th of December, Midday is Frozen, one for Guy. Alright, Arnold Schwarzenegger. 15th at 3pm, Home Alone. 16th at 12pm, The Polar Express. And to finish, one of the greatest Christmas films of all time at 3pm on Sunday the 16th with It's a Wonderful Life.
No, it's not. Have a miserable Christmas.
That is pretty much our geeky goings on for the week. And a very special shout out to Mr. Leigh Beat and the family who messaged the Geeky Brummie chat group a couple of weeks ago.
Hello, Leigh and family.
Yes, hello. Leigh, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at The Cheap Parrot, as always.
Not Keith? To be confused with the other Leigh.
Yes. Keith, where can we find you?
You can find me getting fishing lessons from otters online, and also at hardluck_hotel on the Twitters, and without the underscore, that's the liney bit at the bottom, everywhere else.
Guy, where can we find you online?
I want to play this game.
Got Vinyl Guy H. Are you still throwing records up on there?
Okay.
You'll find Guy every day at the local Cineworld watching Fantastic Beasts and The Crimes of Grindelwald because he's got a Cineworld pass.
I have a plea actually. There's a man who's always at the Cineworld in Birmingham, and I don't know if he works there or if he's just always there. But I need to know who you are.
Is this the Quizmaster?
Yeah. Who are you? Who are you? Do you work there? Contact me, please. Give us details. We want to know who you are. It confuses me. Do you work there or are you just there? I need to know. Contact
Phil,
us.
Where can we find you?
You can probably fill up the bottomless bag of sweets by the looks of it.
So, if you want to see pictures of me and Budgie Smugglers, that's Instagram at Philip Ellis, 1L, 2Ls, 1L and L at Philip, 2 Ls at Ellis. Oh, I'm so tired. And if you want opinions on everything, I'm on Twitter at Philip_Ellis.
Callen, we're not being catfished by otters. Where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BABA Audio.
Babardio.
Babardio.
Baba.
You can find me.
I ain't got anything this week.
It was nice last week when you weren't here.
I was scratching your bum. Oh.
Find me.
You can find Ryan making a complaint with local police because they misdescribed his junk.
Nice, thank you.
You can find me filling my porcelain advent calendar.
That is such a horrible euphemism for dropping a juice.
You can find me at Ryan Parrish on Twitter. You can find us all at Geeky Brummie on geekybrummie.com, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and associated websites. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. If you'd like to support Geeky Brummie, you can help support us at ko-fi.com/geekybrummie. That's ko-fi.com/geekybrummie.